राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोकिर्भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
Recording in progress.
For continuity of our Bhakti Vaibhav study, we are in chapter 2 of Canto 6. Ajamil. Yesterday we discussed Ajamil's release by Vishnu Duta and the glories of the holy name, glories of the chanting of the holy name. Today, this section from verse number 20 to 25, Ajamil's release and regret. So in 6 verses, Ajamil is released from the noose of Yamapas, and then he is regretting about his sinful activities. So we are starting from verse number 20. Sri Shuka Vacha Ta evam swaviniraniya dharmam bhagavatam nirpa tam yamya pasham nirmuchya vipram mrityoho amuchya. So most important word is on hearing Bhagavad Dharma. Ajamil heard the Bhagavad Dharma from Vishnu Dutas. They were Mahabhagavat. And that also Yamaduta, here Srila Prabhupada translates, Sri Shukadeva Goswami continued, my dear king, Narapa, having thus perfectly judged the principle of devotional service, that is Bhagavad Dharma, with reasoning and argument, the armor carriers of the Lord Vishnu released the Brahman Ajamil from the bondage of the Yamadutas and saved him from the imminent death. So, Srila Prabhupada's purport, there is no purport, but there is a very lengthy purport by Jiva Goswami in Karma Sandar, but this is all in Sanskrit. Nobody has yet translated this. Mai bhakti ti bhutanam amritavyaya kalpate. So something Bhagavad Dharma, definitely this is the description about the Bhagavad Dharma. Anybody can get this translated, will be nice. Verse number 21. Iti pratyudita yamya dutah yatva yamantikam yamragne tatha sarvam achachaksho arindam. Arindam is addressed to Maharaj Parikshit, the subduer of the enemies. My dear Maharaj Parikshit, or subduer of all the enemies, after the servant of Yamraj had been answered by order carriers of Lord Vishnu, they went to Yamraj and explained to him everything that had happened. This will come in chapter 3, what they said there. Srila Prabhupada writes, in this verse, the word pratyoditaha is very significant. The servants of Yamraj are so powerful that they can never be hindered anywhere. But this time they were befouled and disappointed in their attempt to take away a man they considered sinful. Therefore they immediately returned to Yamraj and described to him everything that had happened. So they went to the Yamlok and actually they threw everything that we are not going to serve you. How many masters are there? So this we will discuss in chapter 3. Now verse number 22. Dveja Pashad Vinurmukto, when the Brahmana Jamil was freed from the noose of Yam Dutas. Gata Bhihi Prakritim Gata, when he came to his senses, his fear is over. Vavande Sirasha Vishnu, he bowed his head to the Vishnu Dutas. Kinkaran Vishnu, Kinkaran means servant of Vishnu. Darashana Utsavaha, and this was really a big festival because he was seeing the Vaishnavas. Having been released from the noose of Yamaraj's servant, the Brahman Ajamil, now free from fear, came to his senses and immediately offered obeisance to the Vishnu Dutas by bowing his head at their Lord's feet. He was extremely pleased by their presence, Darshan Utsava, for he had seen them save his life from hands of servants of Yamaraj. Srila Prabhupada writes, Vaishnavas are also Vishnu Dutas because they carry out the orders of Krishna. Lord Krishna is very eager for all the conditioned souls roaring in this material world to surrender to him and be saved from the material pangs in this life and the punishment in the hellish conditions after death. So this is the mood and mission of Lord Krishna, and the devotees are carrying that out. A Vaishnava therefore tries to bring conditioned soul to their senses. Those who are fortunate like Ajamil are saved by the Vishnu Dutas or Vaishnavas, and thus they return back home, back to Godhead. Verse number 23. Tam vivaksham api abhipretya, tam vivaksham abhipretya, mahapurusha kinkaraha. Now Viviktam means he desired to speak with them. Ajamil wanted to speak with them. He wanted to have a chance to talk to the Vaishnavas. Mahapurush Kinkaraha. They are the servant of the Mahapurusha, Vishnu, Narayan. Sahasa Pashyatastasya Tatraha Aradha Dhire Anagga. And they disappeared immediately, Maharaj Parikshat. Oceanless, Anagga means Maharaj Parikshat. So oceanless Maharaj Parikshat. The all carriers of Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Vishnu Dutas, saw that Ajamil was attempting to say something, and thus they suddenly disappeared from his presence. Srila Prabhupada writes, and this is the one rule of the Shastra. What is the rule of the Shastra? Papishta, the one who is sinful. Ye durachara, those who are having a bad conduct. Dev Brahmana Nindaka, those who criticize the Supreme Lord, and the Vaishnavas are Brahmins. Apatya Bhojanas, they eat anything and everything without any restriction. Tesham akale maranam dhurvam. For them, untimely death is definite. Akal Mrityu, Akal Mrityu is the word which we use when we take Charanamrityu. We say Akal Mrityu Haranam Sarvyadi Vinashanam Vishnu Padotkam Pitva Sirse Dharyamyam. So to be saved from Akal Mrityu, untimely death. So these people, they undergo untimely death. For persons who are papisht, very sinful, durachar, misbehaved, and very unclean in their habits, who are against the existence of God, and disrespect Vaishnava and Brahmanas, and who eat anything and everything, untimely death is sure. It is said that in the Kali Yuga, one has a maximum lifetime of 100 years. But as people become degraded, the duration of their life decreases. Prayana alpa ayusha. Because Ajamil was now free from all sinful reactions, his lifetime was extended. Even though he was to have died immediately. It means Ajamil was dying Akal Mrityu before time because of sins. Now because since his all sins are destroyed, so his life is extended. When the Vishnu Dutta saw Ajamil trying to say something to them, they disappeared to give him a chance to glorify the Supreme Lord. Indeed, one cannot glorify the Lord unless one is completely free from all sinful activities. This is confirmed by Sri Krishna and Bhagavad Gita. Yesham antagatam papam janana punya karamnam te dvanda manoho mor nirmukta bhajante mam dardvrtaha. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and this life, whose sinful reactions are completely eradicated and who are freed from the duality of delusion, engage themselves in my service with determination. The Vishnu Duttas made Ajamil aware of devotional service so that he might immediately become fit to return home back to Godhead. To increase the eagerness to glorify the Lord, they disappeared so that he would feel separation in their absence. In the mode of separation, glorification of Lord is very intense. So what is this principle? What is this principle? What is this principle? हाँ एक क्लास दिले वो 7:30 में निकले हैं. Yes, you are right. It is a Vipralamba bhav. You have any other such incident in which such separation was given to somebody to increase his hankering? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Huh? Yes? Yes, Narad. Exactly, Narad Muni and?
Narad Muni also.
Huh? Narad Muni is the right example.
Yes, Narad Muni.
All our Goswamis, they were in separation from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and always, they just saw only couple times. So separation is a Vipralamba bhav, is a very, say gopis were separated from Krishna for 100 years. This all is Vipralamba bhav. It's okay. Now Chakravarti Pad writes, though Ajamil had some remaining time left, because of since his lifespan was reduced according to the scripture law, and that law just we discussed Prabhupada is given. Knowing this, the servant of Yam began pulling him from his body. This time was designated as his time of death, but actually because of the destruction of his sin, his life did not end at that time. Thus the Vishnu Duta disappeared since he had remaining time left. So the mood of Chakravarti Pad is that generally Vishnu Duta come to take the pure devotee back to the Vaikuntha. But since still the Ajamil has some time left to be on this planet and purify, therefore they left. So these are the two reasons why they left. Okay? Verse 24 and 25. Ajamilo api atha karnya, after hearing from the Vishnu Duta, Dutanam Yam Krishna Yoho, Yam Duta and Krishna Duta means Vishnu Duta. He overheard them, their talk. What he heard? Dharmam Bhagavatam Shuddham. He has heard Bhagavatam Shuddha, pure Bhagavad Dharma from Vishnu Duta. Traivedacha Gunashriyam, and he also heard the Vedic Dharma, which is from the Veda, which deal with three modes of material nature from Yamdutas. Bhaktiman Bhagavate Ashu, he become immediately devoid. Mahatmya Shranvad Harihi, he has heard the glories of the Bhakti and Bhagavan. Autapo Mahanasita Sumrato Ashubham Atmana, now he is thinking how fallen I was. So after hearing the discourses between Yamduta and Vishnu Duta, Ajamil could understand the religious principle that act under three modes of material nature. These principles are mentioned in three Vedas. He could also understand the transcendental religious principle, Bhagavad Dharma, which are above the modes of three material nature, which concern the relationship between the living being and Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is Bhagavad Dharma. Furthermore, Ajamil heard glorification of name, fame, qualities, and pastime of Supreme Personality of Godhead. He thus become a perfectly pure devotee. He could then remember his past sinful activities, which he greatly regretted having performed. Okay, now two type of dharma Ajamil begins to repent. So in Bhagavad Gita, Vedic dharma is called Traigunya Vishya Veda Nistriguno Bhav Arjuna. And then Prabhupada continued the verse further. Nirdvando Sattva Isto Niryoga Atmavan Niryoga Kshem Atmavan. Yoga Kshem, don't worry who will provide you, and don't worry who will protect you. So this is this is in the 9th chapter Bhagavad Gita. It says, I will Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. So the Vedas mainly deal with subject of three modes of material nature. Rise above these modes, O Arjun. Be transcendent to all of them. Be free from all dualities and three modes. Dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety. Gain and safety means Yoga Kshem. And be established in the self. Now see, the self is a big S. Being established in Sattva is Tho. The word in the Sanskrit, word in the verse is
Sattva Stho, become established.
Yeah, Sattva Isto. Now, yeah, this is a word is Sattva Isto. शुभम आत्मनः अनोक्ताव महान आसीद महाआत्मन्यः शृण्वतो हरि भक्तिमान भगवते आसु त्रैवेद्यम धर्म भागवतम शुद्धम. Where is Sattvasto? We are reading this verse or next verse? The word Sattva is to, where is this big self is for Sattva. Sattva is to. Oh, this is from this Bhagavad Gita verse.
Purport. Yeah, the purport.
Yeah, Sattva is to. So, how can you call established and transcendent is with a big S? It means established in a supreme Lord. Sattva means first verse of Bhagavatam. Satyam Param Dhimai. So Sattvam or Satyam is Supreme Lord. So this Sattva, Nitya Sattva is Tho, established in the self with a big S. It means establish your relationship with the Supreme Lord. The Vedic principles certainly prescribe gradual process for rising to the spiritual platform. But if one remains attached to the Vedic principle, there is no chance of his being elevated to spiritual life. Any verses coming in your mind? Vedeshu adurlabham. Vedeshu durlabham adurlabham atma bhakto. Brahman said, right? Vedeshu adurlabham. No, Vedeshu durlabham. It's very difficult to reach to the Supreme Lord through Vedas. Why? Because Veda deals with three modes of material nature and Lord is beyond three modes of material nature. So Vedeshu durlabham adurlabham atma bhakta. But he is very easily available to the pure devotees. Krishna therefore advised Arjuna to perform devotional service, which is the process of transcendental religion, Bhagavad Dharma. The transcendental position of the devotional service is also confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam. Savai punsham paro dharmo yato bhakti adokchaji ahituki apratiyata yen atma suprasidate. Now, this is the answer to the first question of the sages. What is the ultimate benefit for everybody? For all times and all places. And they give this answer. In this there is a word paradharam. Param dharam. So this word param dharam is also in the second verse of the Mangalacharana of Bhagavatam. Somebody can recite that verse? Dharamaha projita kaitavo nirmatsaranam. The word param is there. Dharma parama nirmatsaranam satam. So the point I am making is there is a Karamkand Dharam which leads us to this heavenly planet. This is for karmis. Then there is a dharma for jnanis to merge into the Brahm. Then there is a dharma for the Vaidhi sadhan bhakta to have four type of liberation and Vaikuntha. Above these three, there is a fourth param dharam or paro dharma. And that paro dharma is a awakening love of God. Narad Muni says param dharam is like the gopis' love for Krishna, that is param dharam. Ahituki apartihata. So this param dharam Srila Prabhupada is describing. Paro dharma, transcendental dharma, is not material dharma. It means it's beyond three modes of material nature. People generally think that religion should be pursued for material profit. This is what Srila Prabhupada is speaking is also dharma, artha, kama, moksha. They say dharma means religious principle. They are for what? Artha means for material benefit. That is not the purpose. This is not the purpose. I think Nate will go. Okay, it's continuing. So dharma, arth, say dharma is not for economical development. Dharma is for upvarga. So earth is for dharma. If we have wealth, we should spend it for the dharma. Earth is not for calm. And calm is not for sense gratification. Calm is for jivan nirvaha, just to live. Yeah, it was known. Light is gone. So net is gone. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So somehow, because light is there is some problem with light, so my net in the computer is disconnected. But we will continue, I hope.
Recording in progress.
Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhu, can I ask one question?
Yes.
And you said there are two dharmas. One is below the three modes of material nature, and paradharma is above the three modes of material nature. So what is the name of first dharma?
Well, first dharma is called Vedic dharma and second dharma is called Bhagavad dharma.
Okay.
In other language we call Smart dharma and Bhagavad dharma. Smart and Bhagavad. Smarta means they follow the rules and regulation of the scripture only, but they don't have devotion to the Lord. So Smarta and Bhaga are Vaishnava. So the Smart Dharma was spoken by Yamdutas. And Bhagavad Dharma, which is beyond three modes of nature, was described by Vishnu Dutas. Is it okay? Doctor, it is okay?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Anybody has any question? Some other question? No?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I
Ye-
have a question.
Yes.
Because you actually mentioned the Dharma 4 times.
What,
So first you mentioned, right?
what 4 times?
Yes, 4 times. You said like first time the Dharma for they want to achieve heavenly planets. Then the second
I said Dharma of Karmi
yes.
is a heavenly planet. Dharma of Jnani is Sayujya Mukti or merging in Brahm. Dharma of Vaidhi Bhakta having 4 type of liberation in Vaikuntha. But the Paro Dharma is a awakening love of God beyond all these different type of liberations.
Okay, thank you. But one thing is still not clear to me. So Smarta Dharma refers to just this Dharma for karmis?
Smart Dharma refers to Vedic Dharma, which is more or less Karmis and Jnanis both. Because Jnana,
Jnanis.
because Jnana is also in mode of goodness. So Jnana is also between 3 modes of material nature. Karma is mostly in mode of passion, and Jnana is in mode of ignorance. Jnana is in mode of goodness. So both are more or less Vedic Dharma. So I'm just closing my phone and going back to the computer. Light has come. Just it will take one moment. Okay.
Thank you.
469 469 585 585. Okay, we are together again.
Recording in progress.
Okay. All right. Hare Krishna. Anybody has any question more further? I think yesterday we were 21. Today we are only 20. Who is one missing today? One, our wise Bhakti Vaibhav student is missing.
I think Ajay Prabhu is not there today.
Who?
Ajay Prabhu.
Oh, Ajay is not there? Oh, I see. It's too early time for Ajay, huh?
Maybe.
Okay. So no question, we continue further, right? So here we are reading from purport Yato Bhakti Adhokshajay. Person interested in material life, but not one who is interested in spiritual life should be attached to Parodharma. That is the principle by which one become a devotee of the Supreme Lord. Yato Bhakti Adhokshajay. The Bhagavata religion teaches that the Lord and the living entities are eternally related, and that the duty of the living entity is to surrender to the Lord. When one is situated on the platform of devotional service, one is free from impediment and completely satisfied. Ahituki apratihata yeya atma supersedate. Having been elevated to that platform, Ajamel began to lament for his past materialistic activities and glorify the name, fame, form, and pastime of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it means Ajamel now, before he was Karmakandi, and also maybe you can say Gyan, but now, after hearing Bhagavad Dharma from Vishnu Duta, he has decided to follow Bhagavad Dharma. That's what the whole principle was explained. Having the pure Dharma, it means Bhagavad Dharma, beyond the gunas, it means Vedic Dharma, approved by the Lord from the servant of the Vishnu, and the impure Dharma, which takes shelter of the gunas. So, Chakravarti Path says Bhagavad Dharma is a pure Dharma because it is free from influence of three modes of material nature, and Vedic Dharma is impure Dharma because it is contaminated by three modes of material nature. Recommended in the three Vedas, from the servant of Yama, Ajamel become a devotee. Ajamel become a devotee means he, Srila Prabhupada says, he now is following Bhagavad Dharma or Parodharma. Verse number 26 to 38. Ajamel's lamentation and resolutions. Ajamel's lamentation and resolution. All these lamentations, Srila Prabhupada is in purport asking us for for personal application. Aho me paramam kashtam abodha avijitatmanah yena vilapitam brahma vrashalyam jayatmana. So vrashalyam means prostitute. Jayatmana means I begot child in the womb of that prostitute. And vilap vitam brahma, I have fallen from my Brahmanical culture. So this is what is his. Ajamel said, alas, being a servant of my senses, ajitatmana, how degraded I become. I fell down from my position as a duly qualified Brahman and begot children in the womb of prostitute. And Srila Prabhupada writes, the men of higher classes, Brahman, Kshatriya and Vaishya, do not beg children in the womb of lower class women. Therefore, the custom in Vedic society is to examine the horoscope of girl and boy being considered for marriage to see whether their combination is suitable. Vedic astrology reveals whether one has been born in the Vipra Varna, Kshatriya Varna, Vipra means Brahman, Kshatriya Varna, Vaishya Varna or Shudra Varna, according to the three qualities of the Varna, and the girls three qualities of, according to the three qualities of the material nature. This must be examined before the marriage between the boy of the Vipra Varna and girl of the Shudra Varna is incompatible. Married life would be miserable for both husband and wife. Consequently, the boy should marry a girl of the same category. Now, this is according to the Vedic Dharma, because this is according to three modes of material nature. Because Varna ashram is according to three modes of material nature. Brahman is in a mode of goodness, Vaishya is in a mode of passion, the Kshatriya is in mixed mode of passion and say goodness, and the Shudra is in mode of ignorance. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada writes, of course, this is a Trigunya, material calculation according to the Vedas, the Vedic Dharma. But if the boy and girl are devotees, there need no such consideration. A devotee is transcendental, and therefore, in a marriage between the devotee boy and girl, form a very happy combination. Prabhupada has written this, but practically there are always problems even during the Prabhupada's time in marriages between the devotees. What do you think? Anybody want to say something? Very good advice by Srila Prabhupada. Follow the Vedic system before marriage, but for devotees there is no need. But I heard some of Prabhupada's disciples says that the devotees' marriage is quite, failures many times in Prabhupada's time. Anybody wants to say something? No?
So they may not be following the process. Still, they are attached to the bodily conception.
That's yes. There's one reason. But the point is what Prabhupada is saying. Actually, what Prabhupada is saying, those devotees who have transcended three modes of material nature by devotional service, because they are not attached to the bodies. You are right. So they are together serving Krishna. So there's no problem. But if they want to enjoy one another, then still they are at a material platform. Therefore, their marriage break. This is a valid reason, because though I see Prabhupada earlier he wanted that our devotees are beyond three modes of material nature, but ultimately in the last stages in Mayapur he said, I thought that the movement is beyond three modes of material nature, but I think we have to follow the Devi Varnashram system. He said we have to follow the Devi Varnashram system. And same thing, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, well, we are not Paramahansas like our Goswamis, but we should follow the Devi Varnashram system. This is what I'm saying. The both acharyas, Bhaktisiddhanta and Bhaktivedanta, Prabhupada, both Prabhupada has actually ultimately wanted the Devi Varnashram, which means we have not to decide the Varna according to the birth, but devotees are still, they have a tendency for certain type of work. I think I told you other day in one of the class and previous teacher, they said brahmacharya life and grastha life are for Vaishyas. They must have a brahmacharya training and then enter into the grastha life. For a kshatriya, they must be brahmachari, they must grastha, and then they should definitely become one person. For a Brahman, he should not only become brahmachari, then grastha, then one person, he must take sannyas also. But for the fourth class, though he may be devotee, but he will remain in the grastha ashram only. So if we look in our society, we have, well, practically Prabhupada writes in some purpose, brahmachari is impossible, or not available, actually speaking. All the devotees who join the movement is after 18 years. The brahmacharya training starts from age 5 and 8. So practically speaking, there is no proper brahmacharya training from the beginning. Okay, Grast ashram is there, and some are still. We have some retired people in our society. Some 1% is good, 1% are there, and some sannyasis are also there. But mostly the people are Grasta. They continue the Grasta life throughout. So from the Devi Varnashram point of view, they are more or less still, they want to continue a comfortable life. They are not ready for austerities. No, right? So anyway, what Prabhupada is writing in this, we should not blindly say that, well, let us marry the devotee who is for 2 years in the movement, and the girl, they just like one another and you get married. Most of the problems are always there. We have seen quite frequent problems in this society. Going to the verse number 27. Then mum, condemnation upon me. Then mum, vigrahitam sadbhi, condemned, sadbhi, by honest men. Duskrityam, I have done so many sinful acts. Kula kajjalam, I am the blackest spot on my family. Hitva balam satim yo aham, I have given up the beautiful young Brahman wife. Surapim, I drank wine. Asatim agam, and I went to prostitute. So this is the lamentation of Ajamil. Last, all condemnation upon me. I acted so sinful that I degraded my family tradition. Kula kajalam. Kajal means a black mark. Indeed, I gave up my chaste and beautiful young wife to have sexual intercourse with a fallen prostitute, accustomed to the drinking wine. All condemnation upon me. Now, Srila Prabhupada is writing something for the devotees to personally apply in their life. This is the mentality of one who is becoming pure devotee. When one is elevated to the platform of devotional service by grace of the Lord and the spiritual master, Guru Krishna Prasad Pai Bhakti Lata Beach, one first regret his past sinful activities. This helps one advance in his spiritual life. The Vishnu Duta had given Ajamil the chance to become a pure devotee. And the duty of the pure devotee is to regret his past sinful activities in illicit sex, intoxication, meat eating, and gambling. Not only should one give up his past bad habits, but he must always regret his past sinful acts. This is the standard of pure devotion. What do you think? Any comment on this purport? Some question?
Hare Krishna, what does it mean that he must always regret? Because from the material point of view, when you're always regretting, you're like in depression, but depression is in tamaguna. What does it mean?
Always regret. Yeah, it's depression. I think previous teacher was telling that Srila Prabhupada in the night before sleeping was always praying that Krishna, please protect me, that I should not be influenced by Maya. And then Srila Prabhupada said, my disciples are fearless. They are not actually afraid of Maya, therefore Maya catches them and bring them down. So the point actually what Srila Prabhupada wants to say, every day we should pray that we should be saved from our fall down to the old habits, and we should continue practicing devotional service. It's not that we should condemn every day that I was bad man. We should, I always remember and pray that we should not again fall down to the old habits. That's what it means actually. I think no devotee is praying what to say about every day, even in a year or a life, that Krishna please protect me and continue me devotional service, and I should not get fall down. What do you think? Is anybody praying? Do we pray like this?
Today I will pray like this.
I think this is what Srila Prabhupada actually meant, that devotees should pray every day that we should not fall again into the old habits. Maya, please protect, give us, release us for Krishna's service, and pray to Krishna that we should always be engaged in your service and should not be dragged down because of our conditional life. That's what it actually means. I think it was an olden days system. Even I used to see my mother before retiring in the night for sleep, she used to say everybody should be, happy and saved by Krishna, and on the behalf of that, maybe Krishna protect us. Something like that, so old people have this type of prayers every day. So that's what Srila Prabhupada is writing is something, a tradition which he has, which he is grown up, and which is not seen in a Western world among his devotees, disciples. So he just wanted to impress upon them that they should also follow this system. Verse 28. Vridhav anathav pitro, my mother and father were old. Vridha means old. Na anya bandhu tapasvino, they had no other relative, and they were doing austerities. Aho maya adhuna tyaktva, how bad it is that I have given them up. Akritagyena nichavat, like a fallen person, I was ungrateful because they have raised me, they have protected me, but I have given them up. This is the mood. My father and mother were old and had no other son or friend to look after them. Because I did not take care of them, they lived with great difficulty. Alas, like an abominable ungrateful, lower class men, I ungratefully left them in that condition. This is also lamentation. But the positive side is that we should take care of the elderly parents. Krishna, when came to Mathura after killing Kansa and releasing Ugrasen, he went to Devaki and Vasudeva, and they only saw Krishna, say 11 years back when he was born in the prison house of Kansa. So they saw him 400 forms, so they were actually, because of the opulence of Krishna, were with folded hands. Krishna immediately thought that my mother and father will, they have a relation to me like a opulence. So he immediately said, the good son is one who always take care of his elderly parents. We are sorry that we were there next to you, but we are not able to protect you. So this is what Krishna and Balaram immediately, when they said like that, the Vasudeva and Devaki, they immediately developed Vatsalya Bhav and then embraced them, and they touched, they smelled their head, and they said, this is what I'm saying is, a grown-up child has a responsibility to take care of olden parents. That's what actually positive side of this is, and which is also in modern days, even among the devotees, is neglected. Srila Prabhupada writes, according to the Vedic civilization, everyone has the responsibility for taking care of the Brahmins, old men, women, children, and cow. Where is this purport? Anybody remember this purport? This is the duty of everyone.
Also, in the discussion of Yudhishthir Maharaj's responsibility in Canto 1, is also
Canto
there.
1, chapter 8, not Yudhishthir, before that,
Yeah.
and Kunti Maharani's prayers. And there is a question on that in Mayapur Institute, that about these 5 Brahman, old men, women, children, and cow, the civilization which is not taking care of them is going to be degraded down the drain. And the question was how much in ISKCON we are able to uphold this principle of taking care of these 5 subjects in the society. The second time Srila Prabhupada is writing in purport. This is the duty of everyone, especially an upper class person. Upper class person, when Prabhupada said, it means Brahman, Kshatriya and Vaishya. Because of his association with prostitute, Ajamil abandoned all his duties. Regretting this, Ajamil now considered himself quite fallen. So in our society, what is the position of old men, women, children, cows, Brahmins? Verse number 29. Soham vyaktam pratishyami narake brisham darune dharamgnaha kumino yatra kamino yatra vindanti yamayatana. It is now clear that as a consequence of such activities, a sinful person like me must be thrown into the hellish conditions meant for those who have broken religious principle and must there suffer extreme miseries. No purport. Srila Prabhupada writes 30. Kimidam swapanaho with now Ajamil saying, oh, am I dreaming really? What happened? Sakshat drishtum iha adbhutun. Have I seen actually Vishnu Dutas? Very wonderful. Kavayata adyateya ye mam, where are they gone? Vyakarasham pasha paina, where are those Yamduta gone? They were taking me to the Yamlok. Was this a dream I saw? Or was it reality? I saw fearsome men with ropes in their hands coming to arrest me and drag me away. Where they have gone? Verse number 31. Athate kwa gataha siddha, where the Vishnudutas are gone. Chatvaras charu darshana, the 4 person. Their audience was very beautiful. Charu darshan. Vyamocyanha niyamanam, they have released me when the others were dragging me. Badhvaha pashai adho bhuvaha, they were taking me to the hellish planet. Prabhupada's purport is in adho bhuva. Adho bhuva, it means hellish planet. And where have those 4 liberated and very beautiful persons gone who released me from the arrest and saved me from being dragged down to the hellish regions? So Srila Prabhupada writes 2 lines. As we have learned from description of the 5th canto, the hellish planets are situated in the lower portion of this universe. Therefore, they are called Adho Bhuva. Ajamil could understand that the Yamadutas had come from that region. Verse number 32. Athapi me durabhagasya vibuddha uttama darshane bhavittavyam mangalena yenatma me prasidati. Nice words in the verse. I am certainly most abominable and unfortunate to have merged in an ocean of sinful activities, but Nevertheless, because of my previous spiritual activities, as when I was Brahman, acting as a Brahman, I could see those four exalted personalities who came to rescue me. Now I feel exceedingly happy because of their visit. Sri Prabhupada writes, as stated in Chaitanya Chaitamrita Madhya Leela, Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra Kahe Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Association with devotees is recommended by all the Shastra, because by even a moment of such association, one can receive the seed for all perfection. In the beginning of his life, means Ajamil's life, Ajamil was certainly very pure, and he associated with devotees and Brahmins. Because of that pious activity, even though he was fallen, he was inspired to name his son Narayan. Certainly this was due to the good counsel given from within by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We were discussing how somebody who gave the name Narayan. So this is one purport. Prabhupada writes, Krishna inspired from within because of his past Brahminical culture that he should name his son Narayan. The Lord, who is situated in everyone's heart, is so kind that if one has ever rendered service to him, the Lord never forgets him. Thus the Lord from within gave Ajamil the opportunity to name his son, youngest son Narayan, so that in affection he would constantly call Narayan, Narayan, and thus be saved from the most fearful and dangerous condition at the time of death. Such is the mercy of Krishna. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. By the mercy of the Guru and Krishna, one receives the seed of bhakti. This association saves a devotee from the greatest fear. In our Krishna conscious movement, we therefore change the devotee's name to a form that remind him of Vishnu. If at the time of death the devotee can remember his own name, such as Krishna Das, Govinda Das, he can be saved from the greatest danger. Therefore, the change of the name at the time of initiation is essential. The Krishna conscious movement is so meticulous that it gives one a good opportunity to remember Krishna somehow or other. What do you think?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
My name is Abhirupa Malti after initiation. How this name will protect me at the time of death? Remembering of this name.
You asked this meaning of this name from the Maharaj?
Okay.
Abhirupa?
Malati.
Abhirupa Malti. Malti is
Name of flower.
also there's the name of I think wife of Srivas Acharya is Malti, I think. Yes, her name is Malti, and Malti is also somewhere. And Abhirupa means just the next form of the Malti, Abhirupa. Like there are original deities, when they are gone to Vrindavan, then they have a Pratibhu Murti. Pratibhu Murti is Abhirupa Murti of the Malti. So you see, Malti, the name of Malti, somehow or other, not a flower only, it must be name of, I know that this is name of wife of Srivas Thakur, Malti Devi. And Malti was one of the Prabhupada's earlier disciple, Malti Devi. So Malti, you look, Malti must be related some way or other to Radharani or some gopis or sakhis somewhere. And you are Abhirupa means you are just their associate in assisting them in their service to Krishna. I'm telling you this story. In early days in ISKCON in Boston, there was some court case and devotees were taken to jail. And for witness, there was one devotee who was simple Nanda Kumar, Prabhupada's disciple. He was asked to come to the court to give witness about what happened. So he said, I could not really remember what happened, what I should say. Then they said, who was there at that time? So he immediately remembered the names of the devotees. He says, Gopinath was there, Gopal was there, Murali was there, Murari was there. As soon as he chanted the name of the devotees, from inside he got so much courage and enthusiasm that he gave the Vaktavya. Vaktavya means he gave the evidence by which all the devotees are released from the jail. So simply remembering name of the devotees, we actually please Krishna and get enlightenment, because all the names have some or other, either their name connected with devotees or connected with Krishna or Krishna's devotees. So the best practice is we should give name to our children at least, like Gopal, Damodar, Madhusudan. But nowadays no modern mother wants such type of name. So once in Dubai, some Mataji told, because these young ladies are not giving such name, therefore the working boys, I named them, say Nitaya Das and Gaur Das or Krishna Das and Balaram Das. At least I call every day 100 times to the servants, hey Krishna Das, come here, hey Ramdas, hey Naranga, hey Gauranga. So he says somehow or other I have to remember, like Ajamul Majam, the some name, a holy name. So Prabhupada saying our own name will save us if we remember. Anybody has to say something more? Chakravarti Pad writes, it is because of Maya, there must have been some auspicious act as a cause for seeing the best devtas, means Vishnu Dutas. One must assume the mercy of some devotee, because without the seed of bhakti cannot be grown. Without the association of devotees, seed of bhakti cannot be grown, sown. And because of that mercy, he called his son Narayan. So, any other such example you remember? It is the mercy of my old devotees that Krishna has sent you. Sukdev, Parikshat said this. Parikshat said this in first canto, that Sukdev, you have just arrived at this time because Krishna has inspired you. Why? Because Krishna was very much affectionate to my grandfather Pandavas. So it's not my credit, but it is because of the credibility of my forefathers that they were your great devotees. Therefore, you have sent Sukdev to guide me. Is it okay? Anyatha mrityamanasya ma sucher vrishalipate. Otherwise, anyatha, miryamanam, so when somebody is about to die, ma suchi, one who is not pure. Vrishalapati, one who is the husband of prostitute. Vaikuntha Nama Granam, how could I call upon the name of Narayana? Jiva Vaktam Iharati. It's not possible to chant holy name with the tongue of Narayana. For me, such person. Were it not for my past devotional service, how could I, the most unclean keeper of a prostitute, have gotten an opportunity to chant the holy name of Vaikuntapati when I was just ready to die? Certainly it could not have been possible. So the name Vaikuntapati, which means the master of the spiritual world, is non-different from the name Vaikuntha. Ajamil, who was now a realized soul, could understand that because of his past spiritual activities in devotional service, he had gotten this opportunity to chant the holy name of Vaikuntapati in his horrible condition at the time of death. Vaktum means kartum, or the meaning can be the tongue could not chant that which allow one to attain Vaikuntha. So we are going to verse number 34. Kvachaham kitva papo brahmagno nirapatrapaha क्वच नारायण इति एतद् भगवन् नाम मंगलम. Ajamil continued, I am shameless cheater who had killed his Brahminical culture, Brahmagno. Indeed, I am sin personified. Sin personified. Where am I in comparison to the all auspicious chanting of the holy name of Lord Narayan? Bhagavan Nam Mangalam. Those engaged in broadcasting the holy name of Narayan, Krishna, through the Krishna conscious movement should always consider that our position was before and we came and what is now. We had fallen into the abominable lives as meat eater, drunkard, and woman hunters who perform all kinds of sinful activities. But now we have been given the opportunity to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Therefore, we should always appreciate this opportunity. By the grace of the Lord, we are opening many branches, and we should use this good fortune to chant the holy name of the Lord and serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. We must be conscious of difference between our present and past condition and should always be very careful not to fall from the most exalted life. Oh, what do you mean by this line? By the grace of the Lord, we are opening many branches, this is Prabhupada saying, and we should use this good fortune, means opening branches, to chant the holy name of the Lord and serve the Lord Personality of Godhead directly. What it means? Yes, anybody?
Chanting is a direct service to Lord Krishna Prabhu.
There's also name and Lord are not different. So, Nam, Nami, Abhinna, Nitya Shuddho. That's also right. Directly serving the Lord by chanting holy name, directly serving the Lord. Something more somebody want to add?
Lord is
Deity worship.
Deity worship.
So
Deity
the-
worship is directly
Just
serving the
opening
Lord.
centers. Yeah.
Directly serving the Lord means deity worship, yes. Hearing Bhagavatam is also directly associating with Lord. Directly, Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam class is directly associating with Lord. Going to the Dham is also directly associating with Lord. So what Srila Prabhupada has given us in his opening, when he's opening his center, he has given us all the opportunity to associate with Lord directly. So tatha yatishyami. Yatishyami means now I will be careful. Now I will endeavor not to again fall down, but I should progress now. Yata chitta indriya anilaha. Now I will control my senses, my mind, my life here. Yathana bhuya atmanam andhe tamasi majjay. That I should not fall again into the miserable, low, abominable life. I am such a sinful person, but since I have now gotten the opportunity, I must completely control my mind, life, and senses, and always engage in devotional service so that I may not fall again into the deep darkness and ignorance of material life. Every one of us should have the determination. We have been elevated to an exalted position by the mercy of Krishna and his spiritual master. And we remember that this is a great opportunity and pray to Krishna that will not fall again. Our lives will be successful. That's what I told earlier when Ekanta you asked the question. Now verse number 36 and 37. Vimucyatamimam bandham avidya kamakaram karmajam sarvabhuta suhechanto maitra karuna atmavan. This is thing vimucyatam, because I am now released from the death. Imam bandham, from all these bondage, now I am free. Avidya kama karanam, I was in ignorance. Kama karanam, I was too much attached to the material things. Now what I will do? Sarvbhuta suhik shanto, I will now think of welfare for all people. Shanto, I will be peaceful. Maitra, I will be friend to all. Karuna, I will be merciful to all. Atmavan, now I will realize my constitution of the soul. Because of identifying oneself with the body. This is the second verse I have not yet read. Mocha grastam atmanam Joshin mayatma mayaya Vikradito yaiva aham kirda mragga iva admaha. This is, he is speaking about his life. Because of identifying oneself with the body, one is subjected to desire for sense gratification, and thus one engages in many different types of pious and impious actions. This is what constitutes material bondage. Now I shall disentangle myself from my material bondage, first line, which has been caused by the Supreme Personality of Godhead's illusory Maya in the form of woman. Being a most fallen soul, I was victimized by the illusory energy and have become like a dancing dog led around by the woman's hand. Now I shall give up all lusty desire and free myself from illusion. I shall become a merciful, well-wishing friend to all living entities and always absorb myself in Krishna consciousness. So these two the first verse is in the lower part of the translation. Srila Prabhupada writes, this should be the standard of determination for all Krishna conscious person. So the two verses say determination of Krishna conscious person. A Krishna conscious person should free himself from the cultures of Maya, and he should also be compassionate to all others suffering in those cultures. The activities of Krishna conscious movement are meant not only for oneself but for others also. This is the perfection of Krishna consciousness. Janam sarthak kari kar par upkar. First you perfect yourself and then you help others and elevate them to Krishna consciousness. One who is interested in his own salvation is not as advanced in Krishna consciousness as one who feels compassion for others and who therefore propagate the Krishna conscious movement. So there is a Bhajan Anandi and there is a Goshti Anandi. Bhajan Anandi is interested only in his personal deliverance, but the Goshti Anandi preaches and delivers the other fellow beings. Such an advanced devotee will never fall down. Why? Because he is preaching for Krishna, so Krishna protects him. For Krishna will give him special protection. Why? Because he is preaching for Krishna. That is the sum and substance of the Krishna conscious movement. So write a small note, what is the sum and substance of Krishna conscious movement? Everyone is like a play dog in the hands of the illusory energy and is acting as she moves him. One should come to Krishna consciousness to release oneself and also to release others. Oh, last verse of this section. Ajamel's lamentation and resolution. Mamaham iti dvando, I and mine is the duality. Hitva mithya artha dhihi matim, I am giving that up. Mithya artha dhi, my intelligence was in this false conception. Dasya manu, dhasyai manu bhagavati, shuddham tatah kirtanadibhi. Now I will focus my mind on the glorification of Lord. Simply because I chanted the holy name of the Lord in association of devotee, my heart is now becoming purified. Therefore I shall not fall victim again to the false lures of material sense gratification. Now that I have become fixed in the absolute truth, henceforward I shall not identify myself with the body. I shall give up the false conception of I and mine and fix my mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. Srila Prabhupada writes, how a living entity becomes victim of the material condition is lucidly explained in this verse. The beginning is to misidentify the body as oneself. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita begins with the spiritual instruction that one is not the body but is within the body. This consciousness can be possible only if one chants the holy name of Krishna, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and always keep oneself in association of devotee. So how can we become free from bodily concept? By chanting every day Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and by associating with devotee. That's what Srila Prabhupada writes. My personal realization is that I am not this body. This realization only we can have when we do Harinam Sankirtan, chanting and dancing. We forget our body. We forget our identity. So practically speaking, by chanting holy name, Sankirtan particularly, it is easy to get free from the bodily concept of life. Our false designation. Who am I? I'm a big man, I'm a businessman. Everything is forgotten when we chant in the street and dance in ecstasy. This is the secret of success. Therefore, we stress that one should chant the holy name of Lord and keep oneself free from contamination of this material world, especially contaminations of lusty desire to illicit sex, meat eating, intoxicant, gambling. With determination, one should vow to follow the principle and thus be saved from the miserable condition of material existence. The first necessity is to become freed from bodily concept of life. How can we be free from bodily concept of life? Yes?
By chanting in association of devotees.
Yes, two things, by chanting holy name and by associating with devotees. Now this section we will do this session today, and then today's class will be over. Ajamel's studies at Haridwar and attainment of Vaikuntha, 39 to 44. Iti jata suniravedah Kshana sange na sadhusho Ganga dwaramupeyaya Mukta sarvanubandhana. Because of the moment association with devotees, Vishnuduta, Ajamil detached himself from material conception of life with determination. Thus freed from all material attraction, he immediately started for Haridwar. Srila Prabhupada writes, the word Mukta Sarva Anubandhana indicate that after this incident, A Jamil, not caring for his wife and children, went straight to Haridwar for further advancement in his spiritual life. Now Prabhupada is giving our Krishna conscious. Our Krishna conscious movement now has center in Vrindavan and Mayapur. So that those who want to live a retired life, whether they are devotees or not, can go there and with determination give up the bodily concept of life. It means chant Hare Krishna and associate with devotees. One is welcome to live in those holy places for the rest of his life in order to achieve the highest success by the very simple method of chanting holy name of the Lord and taking prasad. Now Prabhupada is adding third thing, devotee association and taking prasad. Thus one may return home back to Godhead. We do not have this center in Haridwar, but Vrindavan and Sridham Mayapur are better for devotees than other places. The Chaitanya Chandrodaya temple offer one a good opportunity to associate with devotees. Let us all take advantage of this opportunity. So anybody has to comment? Prabhupada has written the comment all these places, but there is no place still made available in these places for devotees to stay. Prabhupada wanted that those who work for the society for over 40 years or so, then they should retire in Vrindavan or Mayapur, and then there should be a one-person ashram where they should simply live, chant, and associate with devotees and prepare to go back home, back to Godhead. But none of these both places has yet come up with such facilities. Anybody has to say something? No? No comment? Prabhupada is inviting us to come to Vrindavan and Mayapur. We go there, there's no place, no pump.
So there are places there, right? I mean, it's places in form of apartments are there, facilities.
That you have to buy. Say, I am saying for last 40.
Shall I say something?
Yeah, please.
There is one saying, who wants he will find the opportunity, who doesn't want he will find the reason. I completely believe that when leadership decide, we have to provide facilities for devotees who dedicated their lives. In 6th Canto Bhagavatam 10th chapter, text number 6, the Dishi Muni said, Prabhupada giving slogan that civilization going to hell means directly, and ISKCON movement needs many exalted and in knowledge men and women who can sacrifice their lives to this movement. 2 times, sacrifice them. And many people sacrifice their lives, and as you correctly said, we still don't have place to throw our bones at the old age. And many people, unfortunately, we have to face the reality. Many people, except few old brahmacharis whose disciples are of particular guru, they only can get shelter. The rest of the world, many people, they left our movement because they felt unsheltered and unprotected. So I strongly believe, as a comment, that leadership of our movement has to organize, and maybe some temple have to give some tax every month, $2. And we can, on that money, we can make one bank account which can maintain all senior devotees. That's very important.
Yeah, Prabhupada has Mayapur Vrindavan. Yeah, so say Patri Prabhu, yes.
Yes, and we discuss the Brahmanas, women, cows, children, and saintly people have to be protected. Therefore, this is especially elderly devotees. Doesn't matter grihastha or brahmacharis, not at all. If brahmachari is not supported, that's even worse. But I know some Russian brahmacharis, or Ukrainian brahmacharis now, they came and they have big time to get their place somewhere, because unfortunately it's getting a little bit more into business mode, renting houses, and even myself, when I'm coming, I have to book my room, myself personally. And many devotees, they were explaining, unfortunately, they were complaining that we don't have place. We have to go around and go Gaudiya and some guest houses. We have to like. We definitely have to think very important, especially for the devotees. Otherwise, if we don't take care of our devotees, then army starts with the stomach of our own soldiers, especially seniors. Very important.
Thank you, Patri. Your comment is good. For those who spend over 40 years in the movement, dedicate their life, there should be a facility in Vrindavan and Mayapur, whichever they choose, and they should live peacefully and share their experience and
Yes.
wisdom of their life with the devotees, and live there peacefully. Even Prabhupada's disciples are not getting facilities in these places.
Yes. That's the good point. But
Hare Krishna, bro.
well, it's okay.
Yeah.
I should not complain because I have a room there.
We're speaking as a principle, actually. Seriously, it's very important.
I'm practically speaking, Dinbandhu is one of the senior resident of Vrindavan, Prabhupada disciple. He was sleeping in office when we were managing Vrindavan. So I was living in a room number 7 at that time. I asked that you come and let us live together. So since that time we are living together still in the same room. So we both are living because he has no place. He was sleeping in the office in the night. So what I'm saying, he was a president of this temple for many years, and he is still the person who take everybody who comes there to whole Vrindavan. There's no. At that time, I was managing, so I had a room, and I said, "You come and let us stay together." So
to my personal understanding, I feel it's maybe unpopular to say that, but I strongly believe it is shame for such international society not to take care of our Bishop Mahas and seniors. It is a shame. And I strongly believe that we have to rectify that very soon, if not immediately.
Start was made in Vrindavan. We should make some place for the senior devotees. But those who are discussing, they are junior, they are young, so they think there is no need. They don't know because it's only when they they grow old, they will feel. This is another problem of our society. Everybody who is grasta when he has children, not grown up, he think, we must have Gurukul, Muyos or something. But as soon as their children grow, they forget everything. So nothing is coming up.
Hare Krishna, bro. Can I make?
Yeah. Somebody else want to make some comment?
Relationship to Patri Prabhu's. I have talked this far and wide every time I get an opportunity with very senior Vaishnavas, GBCs, gurus, sannyasis. It's like sometimes you even consider. I'm going to be frank. I've been 44 years in this movement, and sometimes you consider their liability because. I think so much importance is given to new people. And then also Mother Jurmila said, we're not seen as a repository of wisdom or knowledge or seniority or anything that we can contribute to the yatra. So we have to fend for ourselves. But the most negative impact of all of this is on our children, my own children. I'm speaking about my own experience. When my own children see that even after so many years, and I'm past 65 now, I still have to struggle for my maintenance. They just don't want to practice Krishna consciousness actively in ISKCON. They just want to do it by themselves in a way. And that's a very big no-no to a lot of devotees, the children, second, third generation. And not even giving facilities, but you have to facilitate the services. I feel like that. We have to facilitate the services of the older devotees. But unless I'm going to be frank, unless you're a GBC Guru or Sannyasi, or, if you've made you've really done a lot of austerities like Sarvabhauma Prabhu and some others, then you have to fend for your own service, and it's difficult sometimes. You have to fend for your own service without any support to be able to be Krishna conscious and contribute what we joined the movement for Srila Prabhupada, and it's a struggle. And I hope that these things can change, but I think it can change if we give some credibility to the Vanaprastha ashram, and we kind of acknowledge that there is a large Vanaprastha
Community.
group of devotees, a lot full of Vanaprastha devotees in our movement, but we're like a nondescript. We're not. I'm just speaking out loud. I'm sorry, but it's what I feel.
One second generation sannyasi came to me, he said, we need really a place here, I want to stay in Vrindavan. So there's even for sannyasis there is no place in Vrindavan. So how shall I buy some
Dear
friends?
Prabhuji, as an experience, we creating community in Nepal for the last 20 years, and we make our constitution. I don't know about international GBC, ABC, BBC, but if you really want, Srila Prabhupada in particularly, he said we have to create strong hold of Krishna consciousness in Nepal. Strong hold. And I was thinking, what does it mean, strong hold? And hold means home of love and devotion. Home of love and hold. Hold. And you know what? It's reminded me, sorry, I have to repeat this example of the gladiators, when gladiators, they holding shield and sword together. They creating formation to protect themselves. Shield and sword, they have to hold together. They make it called tortoise formation. And I gave seminar in GBC college once. Shield and sword of spiritual warrior.
Shield and sword, okay.
Sword.
Shield and sword. Yeah, protection and
shield.
Yeah.
Yes. Shield stands for Shraddha, holy name, intelligence, enthusiasm, love, and discipline. Shield that will protect us. Shraddha, holy name, intelligence, enthusiasm, love, and discipline that will protect us. And sword stands for Shastra, Chindanti Shastrani, Shastra, willpower. Sahani said that willpower, optimism, relationships, and the dust from lotus feet of Vaishnavas. Padarajobhishekam niskincananam navrindaya. So and we have to hold it together. So we have to protect our communities. And it is explained that we need some strong Kshatriya type leadership, because if you're not standing for something, we fall down for nothing. So that's why it is said, last not the least, you cannot become the leader of orchestra unless you have a guts to show your back to the public. Director of orchestra has to show his back to the public. And sometimes we have such a common opinion, we need some strong stand to protect ISKCON community, individually and internationally.
Yeah, now
Very important.
Now the social media are giving so much bad publicity also. So we have to save ourselves from that too. But Advait was saying, I'm just feeling same thing. Our children tells that you have given your life to the society. What you are getting? I'm saying, what I'm getting is I'm just serving Krishna, and Prabhupada. I'm getting love of God. That's my goal, not the facilities. But still, the younger generation is not satisfied to join ISKCON, because the children of the senior parents in the ISKCON, they are not. They are seeing everything which is not very encouraging for them. Okay.
The key word for the senior management, like the Kshatriya principle, is protection. Kshatriyate. It's protection. So administration, management in ISKCON means to protect, and that's why Prabhupada is giving these 5 principles of protection again. Protect. But I think if you're guided by produce rather than protect,
anyway, this is a good challenge that the new generation should create some facilities at Mayapur and Vrindavan for Prabhupada devotees and non-devotees also. So it's something really big challenge. Verse number 40. Satasmin deva sadna asino yogam astita pratyahritendriya gramo yujo mana atmani. Satasmin means Ajamil there in Haridwar. Deva Sadhanam means he was living in a Vishnu temple. Deva Sadhanam. Deva Sadhanam Vishnu temple is beyond 3 modes of material nature. Asinu Yoga Mastita, he was following Bhakti Yoga and he was controlling his senses. So this is what he is doing now. In Haridwar, Ajamil took shelter at Vishnu temple, where he executed the process of Bhakti Yoga. He controlled his senses and fully applied his mind in the service of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada writes, the devotee who have joined the Krishna conscious movement may live comfortably in our many temples and engage in devotional service of the Lord. Thus they can control the mind and senses and achieve the highest success in life. This is the process descending from time immemorial. Learning from the life of Ajamil, we should vow with determination to do what is necessary to follow this path. Verse number 41. Tato gunebhyo atmanam vyujyat jnatatma samadhina yujuje bhagavad dhamini brahmani anubhavatmani. Ajamil fully engaged in devotional service. Thus, he detached his mind from the process of sense gratification and become fully absorbed in thinking of form of the Lord. If one worship the deity in the temple, one's mind will naturally be absorbed in the thought of the Lord and his form. There is no distinction between the form of the Lord and the Lord himself. Therefore, Bhakti Yoga is the most easy system of yoga. Yogis try to concentrate their mind upon the form of Super Soul Vishnu within their heart. But this same objective is easily achieved when one's mind is absorbed in the deity worship in the temple. In every temple there is a transcendental form of Lord, and one may easily think of this form. By seeing the Lord during Aarti, by offering bhoga, and by constantly thinking of the form of the deity, one becomes the first-class yogi. This is the best process of yoga, as confirmed by Supreme Lord in Bhagavad Gita. Yoginam api sarvesham madgate antratma shardhavanjo bhajate mam same yuktatmo mataha. So this is the verse. The first-class yogi is he who controls his senses and detach himself from material activities by always thinking the form of the Lord. Prabhupada used to say, deity worship is a samadhi with open eyes. With open eyes you can have a samadhi. It means you can see the Lord right from his toenails to his beautiful smiling face, and you decorate all these parts. So this is a samadhi with open eyes. Form of the Lord, Bhagavan Dhamni. Verse number 42. Yarayupartadhistasmin adrakshita purusham purao. There one day he saw the fourth person, same Vishnudutta again. Upalabhan Prag, those who have seen earlier when Yamdutas came. One day Sirasha Dveja, he offered them obeisance with head, going down head. When his intelligence and mind were fixed upon the form of the Lord, the Brahman Ajamil once again saw before him four celestial persons. He could understand that they were those he had seen previously, and thus he offered them his obeisances by bowing down before them. Srila Prabhupada writes, the Vishnu Duta who had rescued Ajamil came before him again when his mind was firmly fixed upon the form of the Lord. The Vishnu Dutas had gone away for some time to give Ajamil a chance to become firmly fixed in meditation upon the Lord. Now that his devotion had matured, they returned to take him. Understanding that the same Vishnudutta had returned, Ajamil offered them his obeisance by bowing before them. Now 43. Hitva Kalevram Tirthe, he gave up his body at the Tirath. Gangayam, where the Ganga is flowing. Darshanadanu Sadayah Swarupam Jigrahe Bhagavat Parshava Vartinam. So he gave up his body upon seeing the Vishnuduta. Darshanad Anu, again. Ajamil gave up the material body at Haridwar on the bank of Ganga. He gained the original spiritual body, which was the body appropriate for an associate of Lord. Parshav Vartinam, Bhagavat Parshav Vartinam. Srila Prabhupada writes, Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Yam Yam Ha, Janma Karam Chamay Devyam Evam Yuveti Tattvata Tyaktatyam Punarjanma Naiti Mameti Swarjuna. Anybody who, one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attain my eternal abode, O Arjuna. So, how can you explain this verse? Anybody want to explain this verse? The result of perfection of Krishna consciousness is that after giving up one's material body, one is immediately transferred to the spiritual world. In one's original spiritual body to become an associate of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Some devotees go to the Vaikuntha lakes, others go to the Golok, Vrindavan to become associate of Krishna. How can you explain this? One who knows transcendental nature of Lord will go. How? Somebody can explain this? Yes? We'll do the last verse and then end today's class.
It means one's consciousness is mixed with the Krishna consciousness.
That is good, but how one's consciousness become Krishna conscious?
Because he is thinking of Krishna's name, form, pastimes, attributes. So he is absorbed in Krishna only.
He is absorbed in Krishna only, that's good. One who knows the birth and activities of Krishna can go back to Godhead. Patriji, I think you want to say something? Doctor, thank you. Patri, you want to say something? Anybody else?
Means that one can actually see Krishna in his heart. Vishuddha Sattam Vasudeva Sattam. He becomes like, his consciousness is pure Vasudeva, and he can see Krishna in his heart.
I think
because he can understand.
I think what you are saying is good, but how can you explain Vishuddham Sattvam Vasudevam Shabdyate? So how can one become Vishuddha Sattvam? How can one be situated in Vishuddha Sattva or Suddha Sattva? You are very near to the answer.
By constantly remembering the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Birth and activities means pastimes of the Supreme Lord, which is basically the beautiful pastimes of Krishna and Srimad Bhagavatam and so on and so forth.
Right. To consider them, they are transcendental. What qualification a devotee needs? You told that Suddha Sattva, but I just want to know one word. Only when one only when one transcends three modes of material nature, he can understand the Janma Karam Cha Me Divyam. Then he can understand the appearance and activities of Krishna, that they are transcendental, because he is in transcendental position. If you are beyond three modes, then you can understand the person who is Nirgun. Krishna is beyond three modes. So to know him, we have to go beyond three modes. And what is the process to go beyond three modes? Yeah, Bhagavad Gita, 14th
Devotional
chapter.
service. One should have firm faith.
Yeah,
Also
the verse. I'm just looking for a verse from Bhagavad Gita to go beyond three.
13.23. Lamchayo Vibicharena.
Avibhichareణ bhakti yogena sagunan samatayte tan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. The 14th chapter. So it's only by the unalloyed devotional service one can transcend three modes of material nature. But still, he will only come to the stage of Brahma. But after that, Brahm bhuta prasana atmana sochati na kankshati sam sarveshu bhuteshu maj bhaktim labhate param. Then we can reach to the para bhakti. And when we reach to the para bhakti, then we can know the activities and appearance of Krishna is transcendental. Is it okay? Last verse. Shakam vihaya sa viparo mahapurusha kinkaraihi hainam vimanam aruya yayo yatraha shriyapati. Shriyapati means Vaikuntha Nath. Shriya means Lakshmi. Pati means Narayan. Accompanied by order carriers of Lord Vishnu, Ajamil boarded an aeroplane made of gold. Passing through the airway, he went directly to the abode of the Lord Vishnu, the husband of the goddess of fortune. Srila Prabhupada writes, for many years, material scientists have tried to go to the moon, but they are still unable to go there. However, the spiritual airplanes from the spiritual planet can take one back to the home, back to Godhead in a second. The speed of such an aeroplane can only be imagined. Spirit is finer than mind, and everyone has the experience of how swiftly the mind travels from one place to other. Therefore, one can imagine the swiftness of the spiritual form by comparing it to the speed of mind. In less than even a moment, a perfect devotee can return home back to Godhead immediately after giving up his material body. So now, tomorrow we will end this section, chapter, from verse 45 to 49. Sukdev Goswami glorifies the holy name. Okay, is it okay? Are we going according to the timetable? All right.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Anybody has question or comment? Are you comfortable?
Prabhuji, I have one question if I can. Regarding what you were just explaining about that verse, Janma Karma Chime Divyam. So one has to be on the transcendental platform. So could we say that this is possible for a devotee who has reached Bhava?
Yes, in one sense, yes. By Bhav Bhakti, our heart is softened and we can recognize Krishna, but not continuously. So at the stage of Bhav Bhakti, definitely one is beyond three modes of material nature. Yeah, in that classification, you can say that yes, after by Bhav Bhakti, really speaking, we can know the appearance and activities of Krishna. They are transcendental.
Thank you.
Actually, how we know that? Because of the two energies. Haladini Shakti comes there, and Samvit Shakti will make us know Krishna. And Haladini Shakti will make us feel blissful by knowing that Krishna is transcendental. So Samvit Shakti and Haladini Shakti, when they enter into the heart of a devotee, then the Bhav Bhakti actually awakens. And the Samvit Shakti means to know who is Krishna. Because this is knowledge Shakti which will make us know Krishna known. And Haladini will make us feel the blissful by knowing Krishna and by serving Krishna. Yes, right. Prem Manjari.
Thank you.
Anybody
Thank you,
else?
Prabhuji.
Yeah, this is another very nice, I think, angle to understand this verse. Good.
Prabhuji, can I ask one question?
Yes.
Prabhuji, like Ajamil said that from now onwards I will fix my mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. So many times we also feel, yes, now I will do this. I will also focus. I will also increase my devotion. So, but Ajamil immediately, before he was so sinful, and immediately he was so strong that I will do this, and he left. But so how to understand this?
Prabhupada has in purport 2 times he has said we devotees should have this determination. The Ajamil's determination is because number one he has Vishnu Dutas, and because he has a bad experience of Yam Duta and he has a good experience of Vishnu Duta. So he has understood the Vedic Dharma and he has understood the Bhagavad Dharma. So he said, what I am doing is somehow or other less than Vedic Dharma, so better I should do the Bhagavad Dharma. So Prabhupada again and again saying the devotee should get this determination. What that we should give up the sense enjoyment and focus ourselves on in devotee association and chanting of holy name. So our determination is not getting strong. The reason is that we don't have that powerful association that can immediately, like those who associate with Narad, they immediately become devotees. Many people, Prabhupada, those who come in contact with Prabhupada, for a moment they become devotee. So I think on the opening ceremony day, I was reading one purport where Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says, if we are guided by less than Madhyam Adhikari, then we will come only to Bhajan Kriya. And if we are following the above Madhyam Adhikari, then we will come to the Anarth Nivarti and Nishta. So basically our association determines our advancement. So this is what I realized, this purport in a context to ISKCON. Most of the devotees are joining ISKCON and coming to Bhajan Kriya, but crossing Anarth Nivarti is taking long time. And Nishtha and progress to Ruchi, Nama Ruchi is not manifesting because we don't have the opportunity to associate with that highly elevated devotees. Right?
So, Prabhuji, what is the solution?
Solution is we should pray to Krishna that he should make arrangement for higher, say, elevated devotees to give us association, that we will have a firm determination to continue our Krishna consciousness. Only prayer should be that we should have a good association of the devotees. Prabhupada again says chanting Harinam, holy name and living with devotees will help us. And living with devotees, association of devotee means Hari Katha. It's powerful is Hari Katha, Satam Prasangam Mam Virya Samvidam.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Anybody has to say anything?
Is listening to Srila Prabhupada tapes every day equal to associating with Mahabhagavad devotee physically?
Yeah. Say again?
Is listening to Srila Prabhupada lecture tapes daily equal to associating with the Mahabhagavad devotee?
Yeah, sure. Definitely Krishna Prabhupada's books is a big association of Prabhupada. Prabhupada's lectures, Prabhupada's books is the best association for the devotees. They should not be discouraged that they don't have a good association. Yes. But still, we should not really too much promote this, otherwise it will be like a Ritvik thing.
Yeah.
Definitely these purports only sometimes they show us some glimpses of new realization. Otherwise we never just go over this. Many times I've read this same subject, but every time there is some different realization. We are reading all purpose through as my old bad habit. Are you okay?
Yes, Prabhu, we are enjoying.
Any advice? Any suggestion? Any word of wisdom? Tomorrow we'll finish this chapter and go to the next chapter next week. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. गौर भक्त विंद की जय. श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय. निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. You can write me some suggestion if you're not able to say it directly. You may write me if you want me to have some alteration in a mode of discussion. Hari Bol.
Right.